Bonjour, brought to you by Safaricom, a proud sponsor of Team Kenya at the Olympics.
Hello there and welcome to another edition of Bonjour, and this time round we are at a different venue as always, just giving you something different, of course, as this major sporting event continues. Mr. Elias, first of all, we are boiling, we are sweating. Like I can tell for a fact we are sweating. This weather has been very, very erratic. Remember on the opening ceremony, it was raining, and then a few days later, it is sweltering hot. You can see how we are flustered. You can see how we are shining all over because of the heat. But it was obviously the heat was also as expected on the volleyball court once the Team Kenya women's volleyball team got into action.
Yeah, it wasn't going to be an easy one. I mean, if you look at the world rankings, Brazil is among the top. It's been #1 in the world for many years. So the depth in terms of standards, class, and experience was so huge. So it was just a matter of how can Malkia limit the damage.
Yes.
Yeah, it was pretty tough.
Yes, of course, it was their first game. They were playing against a team I believe should be, I think if I'm not wrong, #2 in the world in terms of the world rankings. They have a lot of experience. They have won 6 medals, 2 gold medals, 1 silver, and if I'm not wrong, about 2 or so. If I'm not wrong, 2 or so bronze medals. If I'm not wrong, it could be wrong, but I need to counter check. But it's obviously they're one of the top teams. But you see, the thing is, Mr. Elias, is the fact that being here at the South Paris Arena, that is where the game was being played. Elias, you'd even be somebody would tell you that you're in Sao Paulo, somebody would tell you in Rio de Janeiro, because the entire stadium was yellow, the Brazilian colors. Just a handful of Kenyans who were there.
Yeah, I can see. I mean, it feels like you're in Ipanema, Copacabana, or somewhere along the Rio beaches. You can even see, some of the, fans wearing Corinthians, Flamengo, football jerseys. Brazil have a very good culture of traveling supporters. 99.9% of the fans in the stadium were actually Brazilians, which was also a factor in giving our players some sort of disadvantage.
Kenya did so well, especially against the #1 team. They stood on their own and actually went, and I saw Brazil shaking a little bit.
Yeah. When did you arrive?
Today. This morning.
We got off the plane
and came to the stadium.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's nice. So this is the first game you've seen for Team Kenya?
First game, yes.
Okay, so you're going to watch the next game hopefully?
Absolutely,
Okay.
yeah.
Because Kenya is a very beautiful country. I have visited it, and I found that people were very friendly, very welcoming, such a beautiful nature, and I think they deserve to have a place and to show their, their talents in front of the world as well.
Yeah, it was great because I think it's a great team with great players, but Brazil are higher in the game, higher. The heights, the Brazilians are very high, but it was pretty cool, and thankful. It was a great match.
Okay. Yes, first set we tried to push the Brazilians to some extent. Second set there's a little bit of hope, but you could just see the gulf in class. This is the South American giants, these are the world giants facing off against the African giants.
Yeah, but a lot of positives to draw. I mean, the reception, a lot of improvement. Even the coach was happy talking to the captain, Teresa Tuca. A bit of improvement in the service. But the Brazilians all around, the reception, the blocks. I mean, look at Ana Cristina. She's 6 foot tall, tall. Plays for, I think she's in Turkey now with Fenerbahce. So the experience, the height, the pedigree in the Brazilians, I mean, it was just about a matter of limiting the damage.
It felt very good. The choreography were amazing, and the ambience in the stadium was amazing. I really enjoyed it. It was my first volleyball game, and I loved it. It was way better than the football yesterday.
I think it was good. It was a good game, and looking forward for the next ones.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Brazilians know how to support their teams, and I think also for Team Kenya, as much as yes, they're facing off against a top team, they definitely held their own. One thing I really liked was the fact that the Brazilians were also cheering every time that Kenya also got a point.
Yeah. I didn't know Kenya is the volleyball team, but I think you had very good players as well. And I don't know what's her name, but the smaller one, she's very, very good. I think she's #2 or 3.
There's a difference between spectators and knowledgeable spectators. These were spectators with a good knowledge of the sport. They knew when to upload even the the opposing team, they celebrate good volleyball, not just being patriotic, but celebrating good play. We saw some very good blocks by the Kenyans. They supported, they cheered, even the Brazilians. So, I mean, it's one big carnival. I think they're used to partying in Rio, so they know how to really enjoy the game also.
I totally agree. As I said, the stadium was full. And the thing is, I found very fascinating about this facility is the fact that it seemed almost to be a structure that was constructed purely for the Olympics, because it's inside an arena, yes, but there's a lot of, I saw a lot of architecture there that felt a bit temporary. It felt a bit something that was just been constructed just for the Olympics.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of temporary seating. It's one big hall, you know, looking at, for example, getting a hall in the KCC and putting seating, but of course much bigger. And after the Olympics, this seating will be removed and it, you know, serves another purpose. So it's a matter of tailor-making, you know, the arena for a particular purpose, and after that stripping it down so that you don't lose, it doesn't become a white elephant like we saw in Rio de Janeiro. A lot of facilities are not being used after the 2016 Olympics.
Indeed, legacy is very key in terms of a city hosting the Olympics. But I loved how it's been structured, because I was looking at it, I'm seeing, but I think the only negative thing was the fact that you had to go so many levels up in terms of the stairs. There's no escalator, there's no lift. But I think it just shows you the level of foresight that the city of Paris had in terms of ensuring that they're constructing infrastructure that is not overly costly, but is able to be easily dismantled, and then the facility can be used for other things as well.
The same as Doha, Qatar during the FIFA World Cup. Some of the stadiums were stripped, and even the seats, you know, sent abroad to other, you know, countries as second-hand facilities. It's good to be practical. I mean, hosting the Olympics is very expensive, so you need to mix between new facilities and already existing facilities, upgrading them. You know, yeah, the staircase was a bit high, but
it's a good workout.
It's a good workout. I think I'll have lost a few kilos by the time I get back to Nairobi.
We've been doing a lot of legwork here in Paris, I can tell you for a fact, moving from one point to the next. But ideally, the transport network is very intricate. I know we've mentioned this previously in previous shows, but I think for me that facility they were able to convert it and just make it something functional and temporary, but being able to be used to host a very big championship. But I think for the national women's volleyball team, it's about now regrouping. Elias?
Yeah, they play Poland in a couple of days' time. I know the coach will go back, sit, look at the videos. Poland is a top-ranked team. It's going to be, you know, more difficult than Brazil. So, I mean, looking at the points they need to improve, just again to limit the damage. It's good to be honest. Malkia Strikers will not get out of this group, but they can get a lot of positives and use it as a building block towards the 2028 you know, Olympics in Los Angeles and the World Cup, World Championships and other tournaments. So it's a learning curve. Go back to the drawing board, look at the game, analyze the players, analyze the Polish players, and then, you know, come back on Wednesday with a spirit to again put up a fight.
Now, this year's Olympics has, of course, been able to attract the stardust. You call it. I think there's a way it's been able to have Hollywood superstars, musicians coming in. I think the most obvious one was the fact that all the top stars in Hollywood came to watch Simone Biles.
Yeah, Simone, I mean, her story is amazing. She's by far the best gymnast in the world. I remember in Tokyo, she left in a hurry because of very well documented issues that she had, mental health issues, which she has been a champion. You know, the athletes are under so much pressure, and they can crack. We've seen it happening to so many stars. So a lot of people have been offering support to Simone Biles. You saw Johnny Legend there. I think Lady Gaga also made it to the gymnastic arena. And I think you'll also go and have a look.
Hopefully, I'll try and go and see if I'm able to watch gymnastics. I think I've watched it on the television, and just watching it in person is something I would definitely want. But one thing I would say that I experienced in this year's Olympics is the fact that there's a competition called climbing, sport climbing, if I'm not wrong.
Sport climbing.
So sport climbing is at the Olympics, and I actually tried it out. I'm very nervous. So, what do I need to do?
So you have to put on your harness.
Okay, how do I put my leg?
Just like this, so right foot inside.
Right foot, okay.
Up, and then
left foot
inside. And
okay.
You can take it up.
Okay.
We'll tighten the belt first.
Okay.
And then the legs.
And the shoes, okay.
Yeah, we'll do the shoes after this.
Okay. So how important? This has to be very tight.
Not too tight.
Okay.
It's not
just comfort.
Yeah, that's exactly. Comfort is.
have a fear of heights, so
Really?
excited but also nervous.
Okay, great.
You
So
happy?
shoes?
Yes. So it's time for shoes. So I can't wear these nice shoes of mine, so I have to wear this ones. So this is number 10. 10 UK, I hope.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Yeah, very nice. So I'm tying the shoes. You have to ensure that it's your exact shoe size. Let me see. Let me see. So you tie for shoes. There we go. I think you're good.
Remove the
Let me remove.
yeah. You
some
don't have the rings.
No rings, so I have just removed my watch.
Yep.
Thank you so much. Okay, so what's next?
Next, you take this.
Okay.
You tie it to the green loop here,
Okay.
and then you just check that it's closed.
Yeah, it's closed.
Yeah.
I'm already nervous. So what do I do next?
Then you climb.
So I climb.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here the goal is to climb only on white holds.
Okay.
It's the easiest.
For the amateurs, yeah?
Sorry.
For the amateurs like me. White one.
Oh yeah, it's a good one for beginners.
Okay.
So if you use the white one here,
So I watched this on TV.
before you go too high, you should try to jump.
I jump. Oh, my earphones. Thank you. Merci. So the falling is a bit interesting. So
Yeah. When you fall,
okay.
let your feet where they are.
So just tell us about how important is safety.
Safety is everything. Actually, you have to be safe to try because in climbing we keep on falling. Falling is part of it's just a normal thing in climbing. So yeah, safety is everywhere because you cannot climb to your. So you have to be confident that you're safe always, and this is the way you can try really things. Like,
Okay. What's the checklist when he's on the floor?
Sorry?
What is the checklist that you must ensure that you have?
The checklist?
The checklist. Ooh.
The checklist. Yeah. Here we do. Here we use auto belay device. So you just have to clip in, and then you can climb and just let go.
Okay.
Just like in the Olympics, they use it for speed climbing. It's the same device. So you have to check that it's well clipped in your harness, and that's pretty much everything.
Okay. Nervous. I think that's where I'll go. That's the most I can do. So I let go. Yeah.
I think you can go higher.
I have a fear of heights. My family is watching. Don't worry. Safety. I think that's it for me. Yeah.
If you feel like jumping, you just jump. Yeah, great.
Woo! Oh, that was nice. My heart rate was. But I enjoyed it. I think that's enough for me.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Merci
Good
beaucoup.
job.
Merci. So Elias, would you be able to try it yourself, the sport climbing? You've seen me there climbing, trying to climb the wall. Because it was, let me tell you, I have a fear of heights. And when I tried to, there's a way, it comes the technique, and it needs you to be very patient. If you're somebody who's too erratic and you want to do things quickly, it's not the sport for you, but it needs a lot of dexterity.
But I believe we have talent. Personally, I don't think I can make it at my age unless you put $1 million up the hill and then.
Even me, you put $1 million, $1 million shillings, I'll try and see if I can go to the top.
But you know, Kakamega, we have so many rocks. Kids climb every day. So I think the Olympic Committee should now try and get a team together for rock climbing and also for break dancing, which are the new sports. I see a lot of kids breaking, and I can see them on the podium. If a particular, concerted effort and a deliberate effort is made towards LA, Los Angeles, in the 2028 Olympic Games.
Right, we have to end it there. We are drenched, we are sweating, it's hot, but thank you so much for watching this edition of Bonjour. As always, my name is Bernard Ndong. From Mr. Elias and myself, au revoir.
Au revoir.
Bonjour, brought to you by Safaricom, a proud sponsor of Team Kenya at the Olympics.